Hey YouTube, welcome back to Citaspell. It's been a while. I was pretty busy. It's been a while. We're going to get back into the swing of things here on some of my downtime, which is one day. I was perusing the television shows, and on the Netflix app, they had this new movie out called Leave the World Behind, which it's got Kevin Bacon, Ethan Hunt, Julia Roberts. It's got some big names in it. But the gist of it is this family goes to a beach home, like an Airbnb type thing, and then while they're there, an electronic hacking or financial disaster type thing happens. And then it explains the culmination of events. Kevin Bacon, Mr. Footloose, he's in it. He plays a crazy prepper. Why the neighbors knew he was a prepper makes no sense to me. But they do. I guess there's evidence that he is preparing or stocking up or what have you. And the character that Kevin Bacon plays, he also knows of another guy that has more than likely a survival bunker in his basement stocked through word of mouth from a contractor that did the work to this house. But you find out these little tidbits and you see where loose lips sink ships. Well, I'm not going to do no mean thing and tell you the ending or anything like that, but basically what I pulled from this movie was the fact that one of the neighbors did know Kevin Bacon was a prepper. And of course, when they had issues, they went directly to his house. And he did the whole bravado thing of pulling out a shotgun and threatening him and this, that, and the other. And eventually he helped this family that had a sick family member. He helped them for some Federal Reserve notes. So, like I said, the movie was a bit of a stretch. And we all know, looking at the movie, I discussed it with my wife. I said, well, there's so many mistakes in this movie based on reality. And she, of course, asked me what my opinion was. What was the mistakes? I said, well, first mistake was that a neighbor who wasn't really close door, like could see see one house from another, they knew that he was prepping, or that he had prepped. First mistake. And the second mistake was the fact that, and I know it's going to sound mean and harsh and whatever you want to call it, but we're talking less than a week, a couple of days into this disaster, 5 days, and these people are already beating on his door, coming on his property, demanding, literally saying that they're not going to leave until he does help. And the second mistake of the movie was that he helped. So in that situation, you have to, and he has his own family, so in that situation you have to decide. It's a hard decision. It's not necessarily a bad decision, but it's a hard decision. Do I help strangers? Or do I continue to provide security and a good, strong foundation for my family? Look good in the eyes of a stranger. You're our hero. Well, I like to call stray cats, because in that situation, you feed a stray cat, what is it going to do? It's going to come back. And anyways, it was an interesting movie. It was interesting. If you can get past all the F-bombs, which was totally unneeded, there was absolutely no reason for the filth, in my opinion, the vulgarity as far as the language. Why people that make movies feel they have to throw that in there. That's not how everybody in mainstream America speaks. That's not how we speak. That's not how the majority of people speak. They don't use the F-bomb every other word or and just in passing. There are people that do. That's your thing. It's words. But some of us feel we don't need to do that. But anyways, that was just a warning to some of y'all that have extremely sensitive ears. I can hear it. I can listen to it all day long. It doesn't affect me. I've listened to it all my life. So, anyways, that's just a warning to those of you that would want to watch it, and if you had children present, or if you don't agree with even hearing those words, they do exist in that show, that movie. But other than that, I mean, it's an interesting movie. Decent acting, what have you. But I'm going down a rabbit hole now. Basically, let me go back to my point, which was there was mistakes. And as a prepper watching that movie, or their version of an example of what would happen, I couldn't stay with the storyline because I started looking at the weaknesses. I started looking at the mistakes that these individuals made leading up to and experiencing this situation. It's a bad time. That's a bad time to learn what you need to do in that situation, or to try to prepare. Worst time to prepare is when it's already happening. Ergo, prepare. Do stuff prior to an event. You can't prepare for everything, but you can prepare as best as you can. And I find it interesting, real interesting. It just, when this movie came out, and all of a sudden my YouTube feed on some of the channels that I follow and stuff, it is absolutely amazing. Amazing. It's almost like it was planned. But I find it interesting that a lot of these other channels, prepping channels, preparedness channels, self-reliance channels, they big clickbait slogans are talking about terrorism via financial hacking and things like that, electronic hacking, which would include your financial, your public support systems, your natural gas, water systems, electric, satellite, television, cell phone services. But I did notice that. I picked up on that pretty quickly. I mean, no sooner I finished watching it this past weekend, and all of a sudden the preparedness feeds started bringing it up. I just wanted to make the video. We all know it's capable. There's bad guys that are capable of doing things like that to us. We do it to other countries. We know it's a capability. Why it would be forefront right now, other than the fact that we've been reliant on the grid, the electronic grid, the financial system, again, food, water, your heat. It's been like that for a while. It's nothing new. They've been hacking back and forth. If these hackers go back and forth all the time, our side versus their side, the independents, those that just want to cause trouble. But it did have a good lesson in the movie. They said someone had hijacked the system, threw in their little electronic bugs and things of that nature, caused stock market to crash, and it just would cause chaos. And in how they used, I guess the word would be counterintelligence. They would throw little pamphlets out via drone, saying who was the Iranians or what was the Chinese or the Koreans, or so it confused everybody. And they talked about how it was a 3-stage process: take down the system, confuse the people, then the people would turn on themselves, and that's really what would happen. So as far as learning lessons, it's good. I like watching the movies because it kind of gives you a chance to look for your weaknesses that you might have in your preps, your everyday preps. So, long story long, it's a good learning movie. It's just one more thing that you can watch, like I did. I don't watch these to learn everything I need to learn, because I may or may not be ahead of the guy in the movie. But there are things, there's always something to learn or to glean from something. So there's a few movies out there like that. B movies, they really haven't done any really good prepping movies. I don't take the climate disasters movies, The Day After, things like that, where the whole world freezes, or the northern hemisphere freezes, or the big floods that come, and I don't pay any mind to that at all. Zero. I'm not looking at that. That's not, to me, more of a realistic problem. Oh, it's possible, but as far as in the grand scheme of things, it's a lower possibility versus human nature. So that's what I concentrate on. And if a 2,000-foot wave were to cross the continent, there's nothing you can do about it anyways. Major asteroids coming from space, the ozone layer disappearing, earthquake, ground opens up and swallows whole cities. Can't prepare for that. If you can, you've got an unlimited budget, and you own your own space company, and you can fly into the atmosphere while the bad things are happening. So, anyways, I recommend the movie just to pull little tidbits that would help you maybe see, oh, that's a good idea, or I already do that, but I do it better. Again, language warning. Does have language, but it just kind of gave me reason to smile when I started seeing all my pages or posts from other Facebook. Now I'm confused. All my other YouTube channels that I follow or keep an eye on. Electronic hacking. It just happened to coincide with that movie. But that's the flavor of the month, sounds like. So that'll be what we're all hearing about, talking about. We all know it's possible. It's been possible for a long time. Anyways, thanks for sitting a spell. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Feel free to share the video. I've heard from other content creators, as they call them, people that make videos. I've heard that they're getting ghosted, meaning the algorithm, whatever it may be, they, them, out there in the cloud, the powers that be are suppressing, prepping things right now. But just be prepared. Do the best you can. It isn't, a little bit at a time. Don't break the bank. Don't risk your roof and 4 walls. Don't risk your job, your livelihood. But a little bit at a time. Little things. If all you can do is collect scrap metal, do that. It'll be worth something to somebody, more so someday than it is now. Again, just my thoughts, and not trying to knock these other channels at all. I just found it interesting that all of this is starting to at the same time. So either something is on the horizon. Some of these other creators have secret people in high places and special places that remain anonymous conveniently, that know the inside story on some of this spooky stuff, and could be true, could be not. But anytime you see something like that start to boil to the surface, a certain topic, it probably wouldn't hurt to be prepared. But anyways, I was just throwing that movie out there as an example of what you can look at, and it just lightly scratches the surface. It takes them 75% of the movie to start getting into the meat of it, as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, again, like, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know what you think. Comment, share the video. And if there's another movie that I see that might be helpful, I'll mention that one too. But anyways, thanks for sitting a spell. We'll get back to some more frequent videos and how-tos and things of that nature. But and I don't care if you're watching from the UK, Africa, Middle East, North America, South America. This pertains to all of us. For you that aren't North Americans or part of the United States of America, if we fail, what do you think is going to happen to the rest of the world? As it stands right now, they're looking to change it with the digital currency and things like that, but as it stands right now, our economy kind of shoulders and carries a lot of the rest of the world. Not that we're better, but that the rest of the world does rely on our spending money and our survival. So it is what it is, but just try to prepare best you can. God bless, and thank you for watching, and thanks for sitting a spell.